former Baylor punter, set out on an excursion across the Atlantic. First heard about it, and I thought, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? But it's been great to be able to follow along and check in once a week with Ty, and thank the Lord they have made it safely, and you are safely. Look at you on solid ground this morning in North Carolina, right?
Back in North Carolina. Sorry for the boring backdrop. Sorry.
Hard to match the backdrops you've been giving us the last few weeks.
Absolutely. No, but it's good. It's good to be home. It's good to be with family and getting caught back up. But
nice. Very good.
Great adventure.
Good for you. So last Friday, Garrett and I were remembering you were in Barbados. You were right off the coast of Barbados last week. And then from there, when did you land in the British Virgin Islands?
Yeah, so it took us 2 more days from Barbados. So we were basically on the water for a total of 39 days.
Okay.
We were hoping that we would make it in 35, but the wind didn't cooperate with us. So we ended up motoring quite a bit. And yeah, the last couple of days, the ocean was just flat.
Really?
Yeah, we only had like 2 knots of wind, but it was like we're in a big swimming pool. So it was yeah, in one sense it was great because it was just nice and calm. But for a sailboat, you want some wind.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Very true. Well, I mean, to hit it within 39 days, you told us at the very beginning you thought 35 to 40 days. So you were right on target with that.
Yeah. Yep. We just kept pushing through. I think you kind of take what the weather gives you, especially when you're in a sailboat. But yeah, we weren't planning on stopping in Barbados, but we needed to make a stop there to get extra fuel.
Gotcha.
And I'm glad we did because we got to see some very cool whales. And we got to see some neat things.
Yeah, very nice. As you look back on the 39 days, any significant scares or issues that you had to overcome?
Yeah, we had a couple of scares where we almost got ran over by one of these. I would call it a mystery oil container ship.
Oh, really? Oh,
that wasn't on radar, wasn't on AIS, and we were in the storm one morning. It was coming up behind us, and I had stayed off of all news and social media while I was on this trip, but apparently there are some shipping containers out there, or not shipping containers, oil,
yes,
being shipped around illegally, and I think we almost ran into one.
Oh man, we could have broke news there with that reporting that oil tanker. Well, so a close encounter with that.
Yeah, if we wouldn't have moved, he would have hit us.
Oh my gosh!
It was one of those. Just it was a God thing. I was looking out the back of the boat, and it was raining down hard, and it just looked like a big cloud on the water coming towards us. And by the time we could make out that it was a ship, he was probably a quarter mile behind us, and we had sails up. We dropped sails, powered up, got out of the way, and he just kept on going. He had one light on. No other identifying marks on this oil tanker.
Well, very good. You were a long way from the Strait of Hormuz, but nearly got run over by an oil tanker. Food-wise, you guys were okay? You were well-stocked leaving, and you fished along the way for 39 days. Food-wise, okay?
Yeah, food, it gets a little boring after a little while, kind of the, mashed potatoes, rice, you can only eat so long. So it was good to get home. And the first thing I did when I met my wife was, okay, where do you want to go eat?
Yeah.
We went and ate sushi, which was great.
Sushi. Yeah. That's kind of ironic.
Yeah. That's what she wanted to eat. So that's where we went.
Oh, that's fun. And you had a great post I saw on Facebook about some of the videos put together and sort of what you learned from this trip. Can you share with everybody kind of the overriding memory and what you learned from this transatlantic trip?
Yeah, I think the overall thing for me is just God's got a plan, and it's much better than our plan. And I would have never in my planning, I would have never been able to pull this off. and God was able to pull it off. And it's, I think that's just the overall arching, message that I've learned through this is that, God's got an awesome plan for us. And, life is so much better when we're in line with his plan versus us trying to, create our own plan and think that it's better than what he's got in store.
Yeah. What a great message. And you saw some amazing things, the sunsets and the sunrises and the dolphins and the whales and just the vastness of the ocean out there. I mean, you saw some things some of us will never see, but I'm guessing that gives you just a real appreciation for, for God's in control, like you said.
Yeah. And, his creativity, things like bioluminescence in the water that we talked about this a little bit, but that's one of the coolest things, just watching the water light up at night. It's like your own little, light show.
Yeah.
God was just having fun when he did that. He was like, all right.
That is so great. That is so great. So the WayMaker is safely in dock in the British Virgin Islands?
Yep, and first charter is going out today. So,
is it really?
So that was part of the rush, is we had to get there in time for them to get the boat kind of turned over and ready for this first charter. So it's going out this afternoon on the very first charter. So
nice.
We got in there just in time.
Good. So if any of our listeners or viewers are thinking, British Virgin Islands sounds pretty good, they could find the WayMaker and maybe rent some time there if they go.
Absolutely. So it's in a program with Voyage Charters.
Okay.
But anybody's interested can DM me. I obviously have a lot of experience with the British Virgin Islands and that kind of whole experience. So if anybody is interested, reach out to me. I'd love to, share what I've learned over the years. It's a great vacation.
I bet it is.
Kind of bounce around from one island to a different island every day. Different beaches, different bars. It's just it's a fun experience for me. Part of the reason why we've gone back year after year is my day job. I travel a lot. And I have for 15 years. And so my idea of a vacation was always put my butt in a chair and how many books could I read on the beach. My wife, who was home with the kids, the last thing she wanted to do was just sit still. So this was kind of the perfect combination of you're in a different place every day, but it's still a very relaxing, just kind of chill vacation. And so it kind of checked the box for both of us.
How great is that? Oh, that is so cool. So another part, you talk about work, and another thing I think you said several times over the past few weeks is you were completely cut off, basically, weren't you? I mean, no work, but then sort of unplugged, I guess is the best term for it. How great was that?
It was great to just kind of, just disconnect. And I think the other, big learning for me in this is a lot of people ask me, or I think we talked about this too, just courageous to go travel across the Atlantic. And the reality is a lot of people do this. It's not like you look at those AIS, there's thousands of boats out there. The big thing for me was giving myself permission to take this time off and just take time off from work and just focus on myself. And that was hard to do for somebody like myself that is so used to being in the game and playing and not wanting to take yourself out, is to just, realize that I needed a break and allow myself to go do it.
That's a really good message to all of us. So that's a good way. And you did that in a big way. And it's been fun to kind of be along on the journey with us. Thanks for playing along with us. I'm sure sometimes it wasn't real easy to connect and visit with us, but we've really enjoyed it. We showed a couple of pictures there. And if we have any more, let's pop them up to share these most recent pictures you shared with us. So is that in the British Virgin Islands?
Yep, that was stepping on land for the first time. So I got somebody from Voyage Charters to take a picture of me kind of stepping on land for the first time in 39 days. That's a view of the British Virgin Islands, kind of
Okay.
took one in. Very familiar waters for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, then just kind of reuniting with my wife when I got back home was great. And now I'm trying to get caught up with all the stuff that I missed for the last 40 days.
Fantastic. That is great. It just looks beautiful there. So, Ty, it's great to visit with you today. And it was great over the last month to visit with you every Friday. I don't know what we're doing next Friday, but it won't be as scenic and it won't be as exotic as the time we've spent with you. So we really appreciate it.
No problem. This has been great.
Come see us in Waco, will you?
Absolutely. I just heard, I was on the last segment, free Chick-fil-A. That's my type of event.
Come on, man. Tennis tonight. If you can get here by 6 p.m., we got free Chick-fil-A for you this evening. Brandon, there was one more picture. If you have it, it's Ty and his wife. If we can show that. How great was that reunion for y'all to get back together?
Yeah, no, it was great. Like I said, having Starlink was nice because we were able to kind of stay in contact with one another. But definitely nice getting home. And she's got a few honeydews for me to, check off this weekend.
Did they mount up a little bit over the last month?
Mounted up a little bit. Yeah. So I've got some work ahead of me.
And tell me again, where in North Carolina do y'all live?
So we actually just moved to a little town just outside of, a lot of people know where Pinehurst is.
Yes, heard of Pinehurst.
A golf community south of Raleigh. So we're about 45 minutes south of Raleigh in a little town called Aberdeen. And
very cool.
It's about 5 minutes from downtown Pinehurst. So that's what most people are familiar with.
Very cool. That's great. All right. Well, come see us. We got a spot for you here in Waco at Baylor. So come see us when you can. And thanks again for all your time over the last few weeks.
No problem.